Hello guys, welcome to my channel. This video is from one of my online training sessions on advanced lookup functions of MS Excel which I have edited before uploading on YouTube. It's a complete guide for most of the lookup function used in Excel where we will be learning the basics of VLOOKUP first and get into more advanced techniques. If you are a power user of Excel, this video is for you, where we'll be exploring how lookup functions can help us to solve most of our needs at work. Within this video, there are 12 parts. If you are already aware of few concepts, you can switch to any part using the timestamp provided in the description below. Now let's explore the part 1 where
you will find information on objective of lookup functions and you will learn basic VLOOKUP, which will be a refresher on VLOOKUP function before we start learning advanced lookups. If you want to practice this learning, in the description below you will find the link to download the practice file which I have used in this video. Alright, let's get into one challenge given to the participants of this session on VLOOKUP and learn how to solve this.
Just want to check how comfortable you are in the basic VLOOKUP. You have to go to a sheet by name lookup, guys. All of you, please open this. I will give you one activity. Maybe I'll give you some 2 minutes or 3 minutes for that. I have all my product details here. Each product is repeated here. Price is blank. I have quantity. Quantity is mentioned here, 12, 10, like that. And total revenue, this is a formula. The moment the price is input, if I say the price of this is 40 pounds, revenue will update. You are supposed to bring the price. I have a product master. This is my product master, product name and their pricing, correct? What you're supposed to do with the knowledge of VLOOKUP, if you have vertical lookup, you have to bring the price from this product, from each of this product. But the challenge is, when you are taking the table, guys who use VLOOKUP, I'm telling them, you should not take the full column like this. You should pick only the range G1 to H78. This would be the range of your VLOOKUP. Look at the way we have to handle this. Just show you the basics. Guys who have not done or don't know, it's time for you guys to little focus here. One of the main objective of lookup, just giving 2-3 minutes basics for the guys who have never used lookup. What is data retrieval? Another is comparison. These are the two main application of lookups: data retrieving and comparing. The example what I just showed you was kind of data retrieving, right? You have to check for some product and then bring the information from that, correct? So guys, retrieval part I will finish, then come back to comparison later. So retrieval can be done through many lookups in Excel, like VLOOKUP is one of it. VLOOKUP stands for vertical lookup, right? And there is also HLOOKUP for horizontal lookup. And there are functions like index, match, which will also helpful for making the lookups, mainly index. Match is something else. We will learn that also today. Okay, so this is a beauty function of Excel, index, which can do something which VLOOKUP cannot do, like reverse lookup VLOOKUP cannot do, multi-sheet lookup VLOOKUP cannot do. This can do it. This is available in all the versions, and beauty add-on in the latest version is XLOOKUP. Guys who said I have Office 365, be happy. You have a wonderful function, XLOOKUP. People who don't know VLOOKUP, I suggest you, if you have latest version, forget VLOOKUP. You can just get used to XLOOKUP. It's such a simple way to do this kind of retrieving and comparison. So let me get into now first VLOOKUP and associated problems with VLOOKUPs and how do we come over that. But guys, VLOOKUP is there with everybody. If you say VLOOKUP, then you're not using Excel. Okay, you're using some other application then. Okay, so VLOOKUP basically stands for vertical lookup, correct? So basically we use this VLOOKUP when you are searching your data in a vertical fashion, like my information to be searched is, it is in vertical fashion, right? I have to search here and get information which is against it, which is next to it. So we use VLOOKUP. In case my searching like this, for example, here, I have to search something in a row, and get information which is below it. We go with H lookup. H lookup is what? Horizontal lookup. Your searching is happening horizontally, right? So this is where you do H lookup. And VLOOKUP is mainly for vertical lookup. You know XLOOKUP, guys who have XLOOKUP? A single formula can do both HLOOKUP as well as VLOOKUP, and many more. We'll see that many more later. Okay, let us have a look on this. I will just do the VLOOKUP to bring this information. And also, guys who said we are not done, you know VLOOKUP but are not able to do it, right? So look at this. I'll write VLOOKUP here, vertical lookup. Lookup value, I'll be searching this value. I'll be searching this value. Actually, guys, people who are new to this VLOOKUP, I want you to little focus more because I can't spend a lot of time on this. So now, lookup value. See, there are 4 inputs. I have to quickly run through now. Lookup value is the value which you are searching. I'm searching for this information, correct? Searching for this information, comma. Table array, where is that you want to search this information? We have to tell that to Excel. We have to tell Excel, hey, search this in G and H. Okay, my products are there in product name, and my pricing is there in unit price, correct? G and H. 2 ways to handle this. You can click the whole column G and H. This is the easiest way, right? Okay, but I told you one condition, don't take the full column, take only the range. So how should you pick only the data? I can click on the first cell. You can use a shortcut Shift Control down arrow, Shift Control right arrow, or you can also drag if you are not aware of this kind of shortcuts. Okay, one more tip I want to give now to all of you. Okay, I want to give a tip here to all of you. I was writing a formula, right? I was in some cell, correct? But I picked it, I came down, but I'm not able to see my formula. Though I can see my formula bar, but not on the cell. Guys, remember this shortcut. I'll just put this here. Control plus no home. It will remove the selection itself, man. Okay, control plus backspace. Remember this beautiful shortcut. See, I use a word beautiful here. Okay, see, if I do control backspace, see, I'm back to where I am. I'm back to where I am. Look at this. I'll repeat it. Look at this. Equals to VLOOKUP. Not only in VLOOKUP, dear, you can use it in any formula. VLOOKUP this, comma. I will pick the range. I'll pick the range. I've gone somewhere. Okay. See, I am doing F2, so it's not allowing me. Okay, F2 I'm doing, it's not going back. Okay, but now I'm going to do control backspace. See this dear. Many a time we do scrolling up, down, left, right to go back to the formula. It is so irritating. More than time, it is an irritating option. But this kind of shortcuts can really time savers, and we'll be happy users in Excel. Okay, so that's important. Now this I took a range here, dear. I took a range. Now, very important, guys, when you take this range, you have to make it freeze. You have to make it absolute. That is why some people did not get the outputs properly. See now, let me not freeze it. I'll just keep it as it is. Okay, I will not make it absolute. Okay, I'll just, first of all, for the guys who are learning VLOOKUP first, please remember one thing which I did. VLOOKUP, I looked on this value, comma, my table array. My table array is this entire range. So when you take a range, few things you have to take care, guys. New learners, novice users of VLOOKUP, look at this. Your start should be from the place where you have to search. You should not start like this. You should not start like this. You should not start like this. You should start only from this. Why? Because this is where your searching data is. Okay, and you have to also enclose what you have to bring. I have to bring price. Now you have to also include that. Very important. Very important is that table selection is proper. Control backspace. I love using control backspace. Okay, I'm back here. Put a comma. A third input of VLOOKUP. First input. Now you have to give the column index number. What? Column index number. Column index number is basically the retrieving information. How should Excel know what you are trying to bring here, right? Actually, we are trying to bring the price. Now, how should Excel know that? You should tell it by a number. So this is second column from name. From product name, it is price is second. Imagine your table was this to this. Your table was this to this. I'm telling guys who are new to this concept. Okay, now, and you wanted to bring remarks. Remarks is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it's a count. Sixth column from your searching column. So this is basically a count. Okay, so right now my count is just the second column, right? It's a small table here. So I'll just select this, comma, column number is 2. I'll just write 2. Now put a comma. Now I will tell you in a crude way. This last parameter I'll not teach you right now. I'll teach you in after my second example. Right now, guys who use VLOOKUP, what do you do at the end parameter, guys? Guys who use VLOOKUP, what do you do? And the last, can you people help people who are new to this VLOOKUP? Yes, this 0 we put. 0 is a hero here. Okay, you have to put 0. Why 0 or false? Yes, false is another way around, because you could see false says exact match. We'll normally put 0 here. I'll tell you in detail later. Many people, you believe me or not, many people write this unknowingly. Somebody has told me 0, I'll put 0, as simple as that. Otherwise, I'll not get proper information. Do you agree with me? Many of us, we put 0 because otherwise it doesn't work. Okay. So now guys, 0, what is the main intention? I'll come back to that. Okay, now I close the brackets. I hit enter. See, I got my price here. So if the price was 24 pounds, it will increase to 24, right? Now, thing is it working for all the things? So first of all, are you all clear, right? Equals to VLOOKUP. Quickly I'll run through. Lookup value is this, comma, my table is this. All right, control backspace, comma 2, comma 0. I close the bracket. 2 because second column data, 0 because VLOOKUP needs 0. Why exactly? Because I'll come back to that. Okay, in my second example I'll come back to this. Enter. Done. Now I copy my formula. Some of you got this problem, right? So you said didn't get. Okay, people who know VLOOKUP, somebody said didn't get. One of the reason might be this. We got errors for so many, some for this. See what's the problem here, guys? G1 to H78. When you take only the range, when you go to the next cell, the range shifts here. Look at this, G1 to H78. When I go here, it is reading what? G2. Next cell, read this for me. G3. Next cell, G4. What's happening here? When I copy my formula, my range is shifting down. That is a property of something called as relative range. Okay, when we get into basics of Excel, we also discuss on this. Here I'm helpless, so but I'm trying to teach you in a simple way here. So when I come here, this is dried apples. This product is being searched from here, but you could see the dried apples is here, correct? It is above my table, so it is not able to get it. So it says NA. So after few range, maybe we are looking at somewhere which is completely down. You are missing all these products here. So that is the reason, dear, you have to make this absolute, freeze or lock, whatever terms you use. It is same. You have to pick the entire range G1 to H78 and press F4. F4 or make it absolute. You could have done that when you selected the range itself. Okay, but this is foolproof. Look at this. It works wonderfully right. So my dried apples came as product 442 because it is looking at the same range. So now I'll just rerun this with the correct way. Equals to VLOOKUP, look up this value. So table array, you can just select the moment after selecting. Okay, I can just press F4. That is the best way. While selecting, if you press F4, that's the best way. So remember one thing, concept always, not only in VLOOKUP, in any function, range fixing is always good. Okay, most of the time you have to fix the range. Now put a comma, 2, comma 0, close the bracket, enter.
So this is about the basics of VLOOKUP function. And in part 2 of lookup series, we are going to learn how to use VLOOKUP's approximate match to search for a value in a range of values by just making small change in the last parameter of VLOOKUP. In the part 1, we had learnt the basics of VLOOKUP function. And now in this video, we are going to learn the approximate match option of VLOOKUP function, which is used to look for availability of a value in a range of values by simply changing the last parameter of VLOOKUP function, and also few associated tips on this last argument. In the description below, you will find the link of practice file which I have used in this video. Fine, let's see another challenge given to the participants of this session on VLOOKUP approximate match and learn how we solve this.
One more activity to all of you. Everybody who use VLOOKUP or who learned VLOOKUP today. For all of you. So there is remarks here. And the table here, revenue and remarks. So what I want is, if the revenue is 1696, remark is 17. Can you see remark is 17 here? I'll just zoom this. 1600 is remark 17. Until it reaches 1700 is remark 17. I want you to bring, based on the value here, you have to bring the proper remarks. Based on the revenue here, you have to bring the proper remarks. This remarks is a huge table of 120 plus remarks. Hey, come on, can you just try this out, guys, to bring the remarks in the remarks column? This should come with a formula. This should come with a formula. If you don't know, say don't know. If you got it. Thanks for your posting, guys. Good, most of you have done. Others not done, not to worry. And people who are not posted, for them also, I'll just take care of this. See here, I need to talk about the last parameter. You remember we wrote 0, correct? At the last parameter in the VLOOKUP, we wrote 0. Actually, the last parameter in VLOOKUP can have two values, 0 or 1. Guys, 0 stands for exact match. Or actually, instead of 0, you can also say false. I'm sorry. Instead of 0, you can also say false. Someone said that, if you remember. And instead of 1, I can also say true. I can also say true. 0, guys, stands for exact match. Exact match means exact match. More than stands for, it means exact match. 1 means approximate match. Here, when you wrote VLOOKUP in the previous example, you wrote 0. The meaning of 0, I said I'll come back in the second example. I'm getting back to that. When you wrote 0, you told Excel, hey, Excel, bring me exact match. If you find a product A, bring me the information of A. If there is no A, say I don't have A. That's it. Okay. So that is what 0 means. If you have there, you bring it. Not there, don't bring it. That is what 0 means. But in Excel, apart from exact, you can also go with approximate. That is what I have written here. And you do that by writing or changing the last argument to true or 1. Okay, if you write 1 in the last argument, that means you are bringing approximate. Now remember, in VLOOKUP, approximate doesn't mean that if you look for maybe a dried apples, for example, if you just search apples, bring me dried apples. No, it's not that. When you say approximate match means you have to look in a range. That is why that last parameter is called as range lookup. It will help you to look in a range here, like 168 is available in this range. Agree? 98 is available in this range. If you find a value in this range, give me the lower values information. Give me the, if the value is 199, it is there in this range, bring me this information. So that is what approximate means. Okay. And one last thing, very important. So this will be a wonderful option to bring or search something in a range. Range can happen when in a number. It can happen in a date. Imagine you have some date in a chronological order, as old to new. So you can bring data from that. Please remember, for VLOOKUP to work in a range, the searching column should be arranged in ascending order. Very important. Lowest to highest, old to new. Then only approximate match works. This is not a condition for normal VLOOKUP. Normal VLOOKUP, your searching can be how you want. Searching can be however you want, but for one match you have to have the data in an ascending order. XLOOKUP, all these rules are removed. I'll come back to that, but here you have to take care of it. Now look at this. I'll write a VLOOKUP equals to VLOOKUP. Look this value, comma, table array. You can either take the range or you can take the whole column also. Sorry, not this. Okay, or only take the range also. Okay, and then fix this range because I took only the range, comma, second column because my information to be brought, that is remarks, is in second column, right? And then I have to put a comma. Then this is important, false for exact match and true for approximate match, because here we are looking in a range. This becomes an approximate match, so we just say what? 1 here. Agree guys? You have to say 1 or true, 1 or true. That is the trick here. Okay, one last thing before I go ahead writing 1 or true. This last argument is actually optional. If you see in Excel, whenever in a function there is something in a square bracket, can you observe the last input here? It's given in a square bracket. Whenever you see something in a square bracket, that means even without that argument also function will work. But the big question is here in VLOOKUP, if I don't give the last parameter, will it take exact or approximate? What do you think guys? If I don't put the last parameter in normally in VLOOKUP, what do you think it will take? What's your guess? So we have a mixed answers here from people. Let us be very clear with this option guys. It could have been great. It could have taken exact match. I totally agree with people who said exact. But I'm sorry, the default is approximate. I'm very sorry, the default is approximate. If you don't put the last parameter, maybe imagine for the previous example, for the product and the price, you forgot the last parameter, you had not put 0 and you had closed it directly, you could have got errors or wrong information. Please be careful, errors or wrong information. That is why people have told you, hey user, put 0 at the end. Last parameter can be 0 or 1, correct? 0 stands for exact, 1 stands for approximate. If you want approximate, either write 1 or don't write anything. If you don't write anything, what does it take? Can you answer me quickly? I want to check whether people are here, because end of the day, evenings normally we are little dull, but I want my entire team to be very active. Come on, what is the last parameter if I don't put? Right, so this will take approximate. So I can either write 1 or I can just close directly for this requirement. Look at this. If I close directly, hey, I got my remarks too, I will get many things else. Such a nice way. Just in 3 parameter VLOOKUP function has brought me this information. So that's something really wonderful in VLOOKUP here. See guys, in the previous one, if I had not put the 0 here, okay, if I just close this, enter, okay, either it could have been a wrong value. Look at this, such a bad way it is reacting. Can you see that? So if I don't put the last parameter, it just gets messed up. So if you want exact match, ensure that you put 0, otherwise you mess up things. Okay, if you want approximate match, you just ignore it, or else you can also put 1. 1 is nothing but approximate match, or you ignore it also. Close this, enter, and bring it down. See, very helpful this option is guys when you are trying to bring something in a range of values. I hope you agree guys. In range, many a time there will be some masters where you need to search something in a range, like imagine you have weekly dates or your monthly dates or timings. So this is a useful option with 1 match guys. Please do remember this option 1.
So, hope you learned the usage of approximate match in VLOOKUP function. And next, we are going to look at a solution for one common problem in VLOOKUP when we use this function to look up numbers which are stored as text. In the part 1 and 2, we had learned the basics of VLOOKUP function and also the usage of approximate match. And now in this video, we are going to look at a solution for one common problem in VLOOKUP when we use this function to look up numbers which are stored as text. There are different approaches to solve this, and the one which I am showing you in this video I feel is best of all. In the description below, please find the link of practice file which I have used in this video for your practice. Let's see the problem first and learn what is the best solution for this.
Now look at this. I have some order IDs here, okay? Order IDs. In lookup compare, I have against order ID, I want the ship name. Okay guys, now I'll not give you any activities. So now all new learnings you're going to get from me. So here I have a order ID 10250. Here also there might be an order ID 10250, correct? I need to get this column ship name from here. Okay, so I will do equals to VLOOKUP. I will look for this order ID, comma, and I go to my lookup compare sheet, because this is in the other sheet, not in the same sheet. One challenge is other sheet now. So after putting comma, I have to go there, dear. After putting comma, I'll go there. And I say start from column this and bring till ship name, correct? This is the fourth column here. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'll put a comma, 4, comma, 0, close the brackets and hit enter. And I copy this. What's happening? I'm getting errors. VLOOKUP done formula perfectly. I have this order ID 10250 available in the sheet. I have 10250, but still Excel is saying I cannot bring it. I don't find that. This is one of the common problem. Agree with me, guys? Many of you face this when you fetch data from other applications like SAP and all that. When they dump the data, many a time format issue will happen. So text, actually what's happening is, if this number, see if I just change to 10250, enter, so it is bringing it here. Look at this. This is there, Henry Carnes. This is the ship name. Okay, weird name. Look at this. But it is coming up here, right? So that information is coming if I key in, but with this it is not coming because of the format issue. I know we can correct this by going to this correction, change the number format, but every time it is so messing, right? Every time we go and correct it. Why don't I fix that within a formula? So that is what I'm trying to show you here. But first of all, guys, did you understand the problem here? The problem is this number is different. See, if I write 10250, right? See, if I ask Excel, hey Excel, tell me, is this equals to this? Is this equals to this? It says no, it's not equals to this. It says false. This is, though it looks like 10250, it's a text 10250. So what you can do here is, okay, there is one function here, guys, called value. Okay, value of this. If I close the bracket, enter. Look at this, it becomes 10250. Look at this, if I say equals to, is this equals to this? I'll ask Excel now. It says yes, it is equal to this. So value is a function. You know what is the value function? I'll just try to explain. It converts a number, get my words? It converts a number which currently represents a text back to a number. A value function converts a number which is currently representing a text back to a number. That is what is value function. So what you can do here, you can tell Excel, hey, don't look A2, please get the number value of A2. Do the value of A2 and then bring up the information. See how wonderfully this works. Don't you see that this is a wonderful add-on, dear? Guys who don't use value, by been using manual way of correcting the formats, don't do it in future. You can just do it with a function here. It's a value added information here to solve this kind of problems in Excel.
And this is how we look up numbers which are stored as text. And next we are going to learn how VLOOKUP function can be used to compare data and find out what is missing after comparison. Also, we will learn how if-NA and if-error functions can be used to customize error messages.
Let's see an example which will help us learn how comparison can be done using VLOOKUP function.
I have a data. See, I'm into this lookup compare sheet. I'm in the same file, guys. It is next to this text data. Here, I have some orders shipped. This is my list of orders shipped. There are 830 orders. Look at this. There are 830 orders. Orders received by customers. These are the orders which are shipped at the customers, and these are the received. Received orders are 779. There are 779 orders received. Some of them have been not received. 830, 779, 51 orders are not received. Very simple. I want to compare this to this sheet and find out the 51 not received orders here. So we use VLOOKUP. We do a VLOOKUP from here to here. If we get an error, normally guys, people who are new to this concept, please understand, if there is a product, let us say I had a product name, say burger, okay? Burger is not a part of this product names. Enter. So I'm getting an error here, right? Because this product is not found in this. When you go for zero match, if this is not available, it gives me an error like #NA. #NA says this value is not available, as simple as that. Or you might have done an error in writing formula. If your formula is perfect and still not coming, maybe this is not available. So this is the logic used for comparison. So what we do a VLOOKUP from here till here. 10248 is there. It will bring me some information. If it is not there, it brings me errors. Through errors, we'll come to know the missing data from the other sheet, correct? So what I do, simple VLOOKUP equals to VLOOKUP. Lookup value is this, comma, table array. Where do we look this, guys? In this table, right? F to F. One column is enough. Am I right? Because am I retrieving any information here, guys? No, right? I'm not retrieving any information. I am just searching. If it is there, you bring me the order ID only. If not, give me an error. Error says me that value is not available. As simple as that. So search for this. Search here, I'm sorry, comma. Column index number is 1, right? 1, comma. 0 is exact match. Why 1, dear? 1 is because there is only one column data, so 1. If there are two column data, I could have given 2, 1, anything, any of this. But here I'll just give 1. 0 is for exact match because order ID is right. Close the bracket, enter. So I got the order ID. That means this order is there here. Now we'll double click is. I got #NAs here. #NAs wherever I get. See 57 is there, 58 is not there here, right? So that is why I got NA there. 61266 is not available here, correct? So I got NA. Like this, there will be 51. If I filter, Control Shift L, filter. If I filter my #NAs here, #NAs, the errors basically, I will get, look at the report here, 51 of 830. So those are the things which are not there. So this is another advantage of VLOOKUP, which can be helpful for comparison. So I can compare two tables and get back the not available data. Okay, but let us from here go on learning some better options. Now, instead of this error, I want to see something else. Many a time that will be useful, right? Instead of saying #NA, to say order not shipped, order not shipped. Many a time what we do for this, we filter #NAs and try to replace it. No, don't do that. Don't do filter and replace it. What you do, you write two of these functions. One is if NA, one more is if error. These are also logical functions. If error is there from very older version, okay, this is there from very older version, from 2007 version, this formula is available, okay, and this if NA is come in 2013 version. I think most of you will have this, okay, so because most of you minimum version nowadays is 2013. If you have 2010, then you will not find if NA also, okay, but if error does our work. So why do we need these functions? Normally to customize the error messages. If error is used to customize any error message, message can be #NA, #value, #name, any kind of errors it will customize. This will customize only NA error messages. That hash NA, what you get from lookup functions, not only from VLOOKUP, HLOOKUP, you might also get it from index, XLOOKUP, some other Excel's function. If you are customizing only them, you go with if NA. Left to you guys. More suggested is if you are using latest version, if NA is more better than if error if you are customizing NA errors. Otherwise, if you have any other error coming, it might deceive us. Okay, if any other, because my customization should happen only if it is not available, right? Not for other errors. Okay, if there any other error from a formula, if I do a formula error, that should not be customized. Only if it is not found, then it should be customized. So the best formula here is if NA. Please remember, these two formulas are mainly to customize error messages. Look at the simpler approach here. It's very simple to apply, guys. Look at this. I'll write if NA or if error. Writing technique, both are same, guys. Both are fine. If NA with this. So now the whole formula I have to keep it as it is. The entire formula VLOOKUP should keep it as it is. Put a comma at the end and give your own message or more your own, what do you say, calculations or own kind of analysis done. Okay, it can be some text output or a number output or a formula itself, anything is fine. Now value of NA is what? Like if this order is not there, say it is not shipped, correct? I can put a double quote, order not shipped. So I just close the bracket, enter. Right, so now when I double click, you could see for the orders which are not shipped, I get it as order not shipped. So that is how I can use if NA. I can just see if I change this to if error also, it works actually. If error, if you say no, I don't have a 2013 version, what do? You always have if error. So it will also work. I just change the formula, that's it. It still works like that.
I hope now you know how to compare data and find out the missing information from this. And next, how if NA and if error functions can be used to look and retrieve our information in multiple sheets or workbooks. Now let's understand this technique with an example in this video.
Very simple data. This is employee data I have got in India. In India, you see employee ID with their names. Okay, forget about the other options. UK also I have got employee ID and their names. So imagine this is employees of India starting from ID 001, and UK my employee ID is starting from 101, right? Is from ID 101. So 1 to 100 is there here, 101 to whatever, I'm not bothered about that. Now what I need is here in one of the sheet, multi-sheet, can you see this? Here I need to grab employee name and other things let us ignore it, you can treat it as a practice later. I need to bring the employee name. The ID's availability can be irrespective of any sheet. See, 1 to 4 are India's employee, 101 are not part of India, they are from UK, right? It's from UK. Now, irrespective of 2 sheets or 3 sheets, I should be able to bring my information. That is the beauty application of if error. Look at this. I know most of you will have this requirement. Our data comes in 2 sheets or 2 files or 3 files. I should be able to grab from every time in all the sheets with one formula. The workaround what we do is what? We write a VLOOKUP, we get errors, we write one more VLOOKUP on those errors after filtering and do a VLOOKUP there, right? So like this we keep on doing until we get the information. Not required. Look at this beauty here. I just do a VLOOKUP, simple VLOOKUP, okay? Look at this, guys. I'll do a simple VLOOKUP, thinking that everything is in India. I'll imagine that every employee's information is in India. All right, I'll put a comma. I'll go to India, go to India sheet. I do a simple VLOOKUP here, right? In table, I'll take A to B. Not forget about freezing and all. A to B, comma. Employee name is in second column, 2, comma, 0 is for exact match. I close the bracket, enter. So I got Sham here, and I double click. I got all the employees of India, but 101 to 105 is not received here or not retrieved here because not a part of India. Now, what do we do? Very simple. I go here, I'll say if NA, like we said, order missing or order not shipped, I can say if NA with this VLOOKUP, put a comma, what is value of NA? Do another VLOOKUP. This time look in UK. The same formula I can also copy paste and change the sheet name, but I'll not do, I'll write it manually. I'll write VLOOKUP, look up this value A3 again, comma, but where dear? In UK this time. Same location A to B, comma, what? 2, comma, 0. Close VLOOKUP once and then close the if NA. Why? Because this VLOOKUP is the second VLOOKUP of if NA, right? Let's close one more bracket, hit and enter. Look at the beauty application of it, right? Irrespective of your sheet is, I'm able to bring my data. Did you find this useful here? Some of you, I can assure you, must have faced this kind of requirements where you have to pull information from multiple tables if something not there in the other one. Remember to write only VLOOKUP first, then do if NA to bring the other sheet also.
Hope this video will be helpful for you to retrieve data from multiple sheets. The data can not only be in 2 sheets, it can be also in more than 2 sheets as well. It is just that you have to use if NA multiple times for each sheet, which would be like nested if NA functions. We are going to learn how to use HLOOKUP function of Excel to search for a data stored in horizontal way. And also here I have shown how to create a drop-down list on cells using data validation tool of Excel. Now let's see a requirement and how HLOOKUP is used to solve this.
If you want to search in a horizontal way, like see, I have a requirement, there's a template here, there's a drop-down created with a validation list, correct? I think some of you know how to create this list. If you don't know, just a quick one, I'll not spend more time on it because it's not a part of the agenda. Look at this, I have to just click on a cell. I have to go to data validation, okay? Data validation. Actually, if you want to bring this kind of drop downs, okay, from this source list. Actually, this is showing me all the city names here, like all these city names, like Florida, Georgia, like all this which is here is being shown here, right? So I can create a list by clicking on a cell, data validation, and I can change this option to list. I'll go quickly run because not a part, okay? Just might help you if you go through my recording later. List in the source, you have to either type these items or select it from a range. If you are typing it, put a comma separator like S, nose, male, female, something like that you want to write as items in a source. Okay, you can write it or you can select it. Good practice is not to bring it from the same sheet. Should try to keep it in a separate sheet in this book. Go and bring from there. That's the best option because people might change it and it might affect your lists. So a good practice, keep this kind of list in a separate worksheet and try and go and bring from there. So now I'll just bring it here directly. So just bring it from here. All right. So this to this, I click OK. So my drop down is created here, right? That is the same way I've made this drop down. Now based on this drop down, I need to bring the grand total, I believe. Grand total is this row, right? So what I do equals to, I cannot do VLOOKUP here. Very simple reason. This is not vertical. This is not arranged vertical. It is arranged horizontal. VLOOKUP fails here. So I write HLOOKUP. I write HLOOKUP. Lookup value. What is lookup value? This is the one. Comma. Table array. So here in the table array, your selection should start from one row to other row. So it will start searching on the topmost row and can bring anything below that row. So it can't go reverse. Huh? VLOOKUP cannot do reverse lookup. See in VLOOKUP, you search something and bring something this side. You can't bring something this side. You can't say bring me -1. There is no -1 option in VLOOKUP and also in HLOOKUP. Okay, but Excel has a solution. I'll come back to that. Not through VLOOKUP. So same way HLOOKUP cannot go up. Imagine based on this number you want to bring the city. You can't do that. Okay, it can't do reverse lookup. So now I will go from here. I will go down till here because I want the grand total, right? Now grand total is the 7th row below. You could see a tiny box bottom right corner. Says 7R, 7C. See, right now it says 1R, 2R, 3R, 4R, 5R, 6R, 7. That means I have moved 7 rows below. So that is what is my required retrieving data. I'll put a comma. Row index number is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'll write that 7. Comma. And the last parameter, of course, you are looking on city. Should I go with 0 or 1 or none? Come on, quick. In few seconds. 0 or 1 or none. Last parameter 0, 1 or none. 0. Yeah, so it is a 0 match. So if I don't put anything, is that okay? No, if I don't put anything, it takes approximate, correct? Need an exact match here, so we can't omit that. You can't ignore that. You have to put 0 here. You are all right. Close the bracket, enter. Here you go. I'm able to do my horizontal lookup as well. So everywhere I'm able to get my information. So this is about the HLOOKUP, guys.
Hope now you are aware of how you can use the HLOOKUP function of Excel to horizontally search and retrieve required information. We are going to learn how to do two-way lookup in Excel by using lookup functions VLOOKUP and match. Initially, I will introduce you to one of the wonderful function match and its usage in Excel, and then combine this function with VLOOKUP to perform two-way lookup. Now let's see a requirement and use VLOOKUP and match combination function to solve this requirement.
There is an employee data sheet. Okay, I'll be showing you two sheets here. We are computing some salary hikes here. Can you see salary? Good news for these employees, they're getting salary hikes, right? So now I believe the salary hike depends on two parameters. One is the department of the employee. Okay, the second one is the grade. Based on these two parameters, the salary hike percentage will be calculated. HR has given a table here where what grade, what department gets what percentage. Like the first employee is from accounts, grade is C. So accounts C has to get what? 28%. So this has to come here. All right. Similarly, other guys. So what is the challenge here? The challenge is not looking only one side, looking two sides. This we call this challenge as two-way lookup. Two-way lookup. Okay, like if you don't know two-way lookup, you may have to write nested if function. Might be really time consuming work. You could have said if the grade is A, do a VLOOKUP from second column. If the grade is B, do a VLOOKUP from third column, do a VLOOKUP from fourth column. You can do that. But imagine these grades are not 5. There are some 20 grades or some 200 different kind of parameters here, right? So this will be lengthier process if we follow the normal procedures. Is there an easy way out? Yes, there is easy way out, but you have to learn some function from me. I can do this through something called VLOOKUP match here. Let us now, to make things simpler, to understand this concept, we will imagine there is no grade. Okay, let us say that there is no grade here. Okay, let's just hide it, and we'll think that everybody's grade is E. Everybody's grade is E. If everyone's grade is E, that means it has to pull the data from the 6th column data, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have to bring it from the 6th column information, right? So what I do, I go here, equals to VLOOKUP. It's simple. I'm not talking about very advanced things here. I'll search for the department, comma, table. Table is this grid. So I take this entire table, right? Because I took a table, I'll make it absolute, very important. Comma, because we considered everybody's grade is E, so I'll just count that number, 6th column. I'll just write 6, comma, I'll write 0. That is my exact match. So I close the brackets and I hit enter. We all know that based on the 6th column data, it has got me the information, right? That is pretty simple. But the challenge is not that. The challenge is they have the grades also, and this percentage will vary based on the grade. But I have not taken from these grades now. I've just taken from these grades. So I need to find a mechanism where this should be made automated. This should be made automated to change depending on the grade. If the grade is A, it should be 2. The grade is B, it should be 3. The grade is C, it should be 4, like that. So here where one of the wonderful lookup function match is helpful. Guys, for whom this match is very new, look at this. This is actually a function. I'll give you a definition of it. Returns relative position of an item in an array. That is what is the definition of match. Single dimension array. I'll try to explain. Give me 2 minutes. That means if I ask match, hey match, tell me where is B in A to E. Okay, it tells me 1, 2. If I ask match, where is B from here till here? It says 1. Okay, guys, try to zoom. Look at this. If I ask match, where is B from here till here? It says 3. 1, 2, 3. Match is basically a function which returns the position of an item in an array. Okay, like look at this. How to write the match? Look at this. If I say match, match, lookup value. What value are you searching? I'm searching for this. Okay, I'm searching for this. Comma. Lookup array. Where are you searching? I am searching here. I'm searching here. Very important. You can't give more than one dimension. Okay, if I give more, it gives me error. It should be only, that is why that bracket there, I put single dimension. Match can work in a row or in a column. But here I want to search in a row array because I'm searching for a value which is available in a row, right? So here to here. See, I can also start from here. There's nothing wrong. But start from a place from where you wanted match to start counting. See, if I start counting from here to B, it will be 2. But maybe this might be a wrong input for my VLOOKUP. VLOOKUP B is where 1, 2, 3. So you have to think in that context. So that's the reason why I started from here, relevant to my VLOOKUP table. So A3 to F3, comma, we have also this exact and approximate matches. To trouble, we have -1 also. Let us see this later. Please ignore that approximate as of now. Let us just take 0. Okay, I'll take 0. So simple, guys. One more time, equals to match this value, comma, where in this array, comma, 0. See, when I close the bracket and hit enter, so I got 3. If I change this to A, becomes 2. If I make it as C, it becomes 4. So guys, I have a mechanism now which can help me to get the column number of a search value. Now, if I include this in this place, right? In this place, then it becomes a two-way lookup. So the mechanism of getting column number is match. So I just erase 6 here. I erase 6 here and I put match here. Match what? Match this. Match this E4, comma, where? So I have to match this in the grid. So I'll go to grid sheet and I take this table. Didn't get me? I'll just help you out again. Look at this. I'll just help you out again. In this formula, we considered everybody's grade is E and we wrote 6. But actually it is not that. This guy's grade is what? C. C means it has to get the information from the 4th column. Here, C is what? 1, 2, 3, 4. Where is B? 3rd column. Where is A? 2nd column. That is what we are trying to create a mechanism of. So instead of writing this manually, we are writing match. Got it? I'll just delete the 6. I'll delete 0 also. So I'll start from match this, comma. I go to grid and I take this row. Okay. Whatever I did there, I'm repeating here. Okay. So now this has to be absolute A3 to F3 because I've taken a single row. Okay. A3 to F3. Otherwise it will become A4, F4 like that. Now, comma 0 and close the bracket. I'll just give you one useful tip here. Whenever you're writing internal function, you can check whether these functions are working properly or not. There's a shortcut for it. If you press F9, select the formula and press F9, it tells you what is the current output of this thing. So C grade is in 4th column, right? So it's giving the output of it. We can make sure that the formula is right. If you find it is fine, you can proceed. Or if it gives an error, you can recorrect the formula. Right now, I find it fine. C grade is in 4th column. So my formula is perfectly giving the output. But I got my output here, right? I have to get the formula. How do I get back my formula now? I can press Ctrl Z for it. See, look at this. I pressed F9 to see the output. Ctrl Z to get back. Comma 0. Okay, now I press enter. This is be working wonderfully fine. I'll just show you that. I'll show you one more time. Don't worry. Look at this. This guy is from accounts and C, 28%. Accounts and C is 28%. Next guy is marketing and B, 34%. Marketing and B, 34%. Working perfectly right. Okay, now first thing, let me just show you once more the same stuff. Equals to VLOOKUP I did. I'll combine all the formula together now. We first looked on the department, comma. Then we took the table. Where is my table? Grid sheet. Took this table, correct? This is my normal VLOOKUP and we freezed it. F4, comma. Then we were not knowing the column number, so we use match function. A, B, C, we don't know anything, right? This is why it's called as two-way lookup. So this is a mechanism to do two-way lookup. Match. I will search for this grade. I have to search for this grade, comma. Where do I match these guys? In the grade row. And I make it absolute, comma 0. Close the bracket. Again, comma 0. Why two zeros? First 0 is for the match. Okay, the second 0 was for the VLOOKUP. We just learned here match. If you see the match formula which I have posted before, okay. So match also have 0. No, this 0 is means for the match, for exact match of match. This is exact match of the VLOOKUP. So then close one more bracket. Little complex. Please walk through this video once again. Once you get this training video, please walk through it so that you get a better clarity.
And then let me know in the comment below if you find any challenge using this function. Hoping that you apply this learning in your work area and find this really beneficial. And now in this video, I'm going to show you another great benefit of this combination, which can be used to fetch multiple column values in one go. Now let's get into Excel to see an example.
So here guys, so I have a order ID here. I need to grab all this information, take for example. And I have a data, this is order sheet. I have got so many information like customer ID, employee IDs. There can be 100 columns, right? So now without I counting the column number, is there a easier way to get it? It is your VLOOKUP match which does this work. Equals to, look at this, I write VLOOKUP, okay, and say VLOOKUP this value, okay, VLOOKUP this value. This is as same as what we did. Table array. So I go to my order sheet. I start from first column. I take the whole table because I don't know which column is my data. So irrespective, it can be in the third or 300 column. I'm not bothered. I'll take the full table. Okay, not like I stop exactly what I want. Got my point? I'll not stop where I want. I'll take the whole table and I need to log this. Okay, I'll log this table. Good practice always. Okay, lock it, comma. So this is the mechanism. Is there any easier way to count? So here I will use match function here. M-A-T-C-H, match. Match what? Match this header. Match this header. So instead of I counting the column number, I tell Excel match this header, comma. Then I have to take care of freezing, locking, and I'll come back to that. I'm trying to make things simpler as of now. B3. Lookup array is what? The header row. Where is this header in the actual header row? Where is my header row? It's in the order sheet. So I go to order sheet and take the entire header row. If you want to contain the whole row or only the actual range also, that's fine. Anything is fine. But ensure you make this absolute. Please remember, your ranges you should try to make absolute, either in match or on VLOOKUP, comma, then the exact match. So go with 0 there. Okay, 0. Close the bracket. Then comma. This is now VLOOKUP 0. So now the mechanism what we learned is this matched. We already know match. But here we use match to know where is customer ID in this. Okay, if you want, I can just do that F9. If you remember, I told you F9. F9 will show you the output of the internal formula. So it says 3. Maybe the customer ID is in third column there. Okay, let me undo, Control Z. Then I bring one more 0 here. Close the bracket, enter. Just see the beauty of this formula. I'll copy freight header on this. Enter. What I got the freight information. I'll copy the ship name header here. Look at this. I got the ship name. If I press F9 for this now, so it's saying 10. Maybe the ship name is the 10th column. I did not count it. Match counted for me. Undo, undo, undo. This is what was there before. Now I want the same formula to work for all the columns. See, when you dragged it towards the row, when you travel for the freight, see, it is not looking at the actual order ID. It is looking at the ship country or looking at the customer ID, something like that. Okay. So it should not be that, right? Every time you should look at order ID only, correct? So what I should do, I should say Excel, hey, when I drag it towards column, don't move A. A should be A only. It should be locked. Can you see this? So $A4 means, guys, $A4 means lock the column, but the row should keep on changing. Obviously, now, when I look for the order ID 10268, can you guys tell me where is 10268? Which cell is 10268? It is in A8. So that means perfect. So A4 has to change to A5, A6, A7, A8. So the number has to change, but column A should not change. So I have to only log that. Okay, so when I only log that, half of my work is done. Other half is still pending. I'll tell you what is that pending. See here, if I drag it towards this side, it works perfectly right. But one more thing which you have to do now is, this actually does not work when you drag it towards the row now. See the problem here? Look at this. It doesn't work here. This is because when you drag it towards the row, header, instead of looking at header, it is looking at something else, some value here. I should not look at value. I should look at the header always. So one more locking has to happen. That is locking the row part here. Locking the row part. Why should I lock the row part here? Because when I drag it to the next column, B3 should become C3, D3, E3, F3 because of different headers. When it goes down, 3 should not be changed. So this is the beauty of this VLOOKUP match. I can also do this with index match. Okay, I don't want to really trouble right now. Okay, guys, you know VLOOKUP, so I'm just using this VLOOKUP match here. With VLOOKUP match, index match combination, you don't need to count column numbers manually. This comes automated. Only thing should take care, the headers should be matching exactly. Whatever is the header in the actual data, same should be the header here.
Hope you're clear with the concept, and let me know in the comment below if you find any challenge using this function. I'm going to take you through XLOOKUP function and the great benefits of using it, and I will demonstrate how better it is compared to other lookup functions of Excel. So now we will be discussing the basics of XLOOKUP, handling errors with XLOOKUP, performing horizontal lookup with XLOOKUP,
understand the approximate match of XLOOKUP and the reverse lookup with XLOOKUP. Please also know that as of now, XLOOKUP is only available for the users of Office 365. Now let's get into Excel and explore this wonderful function of Excel. First I'll show you the XLOOKUP basics, okay? Guys, available only for Office 365. Just remember that. XLOOKUP. XLOOKUP. Lookup value is this. Very simple inputs. So very, very simple inputs. Lookup value is this. Comma. Lookup array. See, now you have to remove from your mind the way you use VLOOKUP. Okay. In VLOOKUP, lookup array is what? We start from the search column. We go up till what you want to get. All this we do, right? Here in the lookup array is just a single dimension array where you are searching the data. I am searching for products in product column. Simple. It just needs one column information. That's it. It just needs what? Column where you are searching this. Comma. See how simple it is. Then the return array. Return array is nothing but the array from where you are grabbing something, retrieving something. I am retrieving from price column. Two independent columns or two independent rows. So simple. Okay. So now I just close the bracket and I hit enter. And now you might ask me, Shakil, what about the zeros and one? For information, the default is exact match in this. Not like VLOOKUP. If you want approximate, I will ask you to do something else. That we'll see later. But by default, it is what? Exact match. So very simple, guys. I did not really trouble myself. XLOOKUP. Look this value, comma, where to look in this column, comma, return array, from where to be returned from this column. So simple. Close the bracket, enter. I'll just show you something wonderful now. Okay, just now we did a comparison here, right? Previous one. I want to do a comparison. XLOOKUP, A4, comma, where do I look in this column? F column, comma. Return array is same F column again, right? You can give the same column again, guys. Search array is also same. Return array is also same. Close the bracket. Enter. NA came here because this is not there. Now look at last time what we did here to get the error message customized. We wrote if error. We wrote if NA. But see how nice is Microsoft now with you. Look at this. I close this. I'll wait. Hey, is there anything else in my XLOOKUP? After I put a comma, there is one optional thing here. If not found, tell me what you want me to do. XLOOKUP is asking you. If I don't find this, I can do something else for you. I can say, hey, if you don't find this, tell me this is not shipped. This order is not shipped. Single formula, enter. Now look at this. I did not write this multi formulas. Last time you can compare this with the previous formula. I do a double click. Beautiful. Look at that. I love this way how Microsoft has brought this. You can forget VLOOKUP and HLOOKUP forever, guys. Okay. So if you are having latest version and if it is backward compatibility is there, then it is a wonderful option to use. So here, just with XLOOKUP, I did this option, right? So now look at the HLOOKUP part. Look at this. XLOOKUP, lookup value 012, comma. Lookup array. Lookup array is this. XLOOKUP says, hey, you can give me horizontal also. I'm not bothered. You give me however you want, comma. Return array is this. Return array is this. I close the bracket, enter. It's a single array, so no difference in horizontal or vertical. So don't you agree that it's a wonderful formula? And not only this, even the approximate match. Look at this. I'll just go right the remarks where we did that approximate match. So I'll just go here. I'll write XLOOKUP. XLOOKUP. Lookup value is this. Lookup array is this, comma. Return array is this, comma. The next one is if not found. I don't want to do this. This is actually, you can bypass this. You can just put another comma. If you are returning something, if not found, you can put. If you don't want to do this, just put one more comma. Okay. Then I'll go to match mode. Look at this. In match mode, you have exact match and you have exact match next smaller, exact match next larger. Actually, next smaller is actually if you are finding 168, it will bring me the smaller value, 100 value. If you say next larger, if you are finding for 168, look for the 200s value. That is something again special, which was not there in VLOOKUP. VLOOKUP always bring the smaller value. If you are searching for 190 also, it brings me hundreds value only always. But here you have option with you. You can either get the next larger value or next smaller value. In my scenario, next smaller value makes sense for me. So -1. So I can write -1. I close the bracket, hit enter. See, it's working like how it worked last time. So everything which was done before is workable here. And the other beauty here, guys, I took the whole array, so it's taking little time. Approximate match, I told you one condition, you remember, guys, in VLOOKUP, this has to be in ascending order, right? This here, we don't have the condition at all. See, look at this, guys. What I want to show you is I have changed the order. Still my VLOOKUP approximate match is working wonderfully fine. Here, I have country. You should tell me, can VLOOKUP do this or not, okay? I have country names here. I have to get the capital. I have to get the capital. This is countries. Capital is here. Country search is here. Capital is here. Guys, can VLOOKUP do this? Based on my country, I need to get the capital. Answer is no, no, no. But XLOOKUP, this is where the beauty of XLOOKUP comes. The reverse lookup. Reverse lookup is so easy in XLOOKUP. Look at this. I just write XLOOKUP. Lookup value is this, comma, lookup array. Lookup array is country. Again, because of the array, I am so flexibly bring the array. Just an array, right? Single dimension array. B2 to B11, comma, return array is A2 to A11. So returning array can be anywhere, either here or here. XLOOKUP says, I am not bothered. You don't worry about it. See, go and pick this and simply close it. And can I get WOW for this command here? Not for me, for Excel, for this XLOOKUP. So it's a superb option, which was not there for ages in Excel. People used to dream for it. I'm not telling you we can't do that in Excel. We can do with index match function. We can do it. But that is like for the novice, for beginners, it is so difficult. People who are not that used to, they have to put a lot of effort, formulas, logic, which is so difficult. With a simple and great way, it can really help you guys.
We will be discussing two great uses of XLOOKUP. Number one, using XLOOKUP to perform two-way lookup, and explore the wildcard match with XLOOKUP. Alright, first let's learn how to do two-way lookup using XLOOKUP.
So I'll just create two drop downs here just to explain you this first. Data validation, list. I'll take up this. Okay. Go here. Data validation. I'll take up list. I'll take up this grades. Okay. I want to show you two-way lookup, which is beautiful here. Look at this. What did we do for two-way lookup last time? So if I want to look accounts and A, I have to do what? Equals to VLOOKUP, right? And look for this value, comma, table array is this part, correct? Then we had to write match function, then search for this. So we have to put multiple functions there. But here I want to show you how we can use XLOOKUP for two-way lookup. So I'll just go XLOOKUP. Lookup value is this. Please observe this. This is something wonderful, comma, lookup array. So I'll take the A column. Only the data I'll take, not much. Perfect. This is my lookup array, comma. Return array can be any of these now, correct? Because right now it is A. A can change to B. B can change to C, D, E, F. We don't know. So if it was only A, I could have taken this. But it is either of this. Now B4 to F9 will be my return array. But how do I know what is the match here? See, right now it is A here, right? It can be B, it can be C, it can be D. If it is A, it should take only from B4 to B9, correct? If I change it to B, it should take from C4 to C9. The array should switch. Array should switch whenever this is switched. So what we do here, we write one more XLOOKUP. This is a nested XLOOKUP. Look at this is the beauty of this XLOOKUP for same XLOOKUP for two-way lookup. XLOOKUP this, right? Or now you can say XLOOKUP this grade, comma, where in this array, in row 3, comma, and return array is same for this also, right? So we put two XLOOKUPs here. Close one, close two brackets, enter. Look at that. Just my percentage formatting has to change. I'll show you again, don't worry. Look at this. I will change accounts. Let us see the data. Accounts, marketing, B, right? C. Guys, is it changing? IT, grade C. Very dynamic formula. I love using this. So I'll just show you once more time, guys. Look at this. Equals to XLOOKUP. Lookup value is this, comma. Lookup array is this. Guys, very simple. Look at this, comma. Return array is the whole table. We don't know where our data is. So I'll write one more XLOOKUP here. I'll go in the beginning. I'll write, hey, XLOOKUP also search for the grade, comma, and in this grade row, and rest all is same. So that's it. See, I just close this, close to, enter. So here I have got employee names in column B. Can you see this? Like Nancy, W, Andrew Fuller, and all that. Imagine I just want to bring some information from this. Maybe I want to bring the title. What is this guy? Okay. Is he sales representative or sales manager or inside sales coordinator or vice president or whatever? Like this, I have imagined there is a huge data. But in my requirement, I don't have the full names. I just have the part. Like I have written here, Fuller, right? There is a guy, Andrew Fuller, but I don't know the name. Maybe I just know Andrew or I just know Fuller. Okay. So can we bring data, this kind of information through lookup? That is the question here. Okay. Yes, we can do. VLOOKUP does not work here. Okay. You can do this with XLOOKUP. XLOOKUP has one wonderful option. Let us show you that. XLOOKUP. So first I'll search directly. Let us see what happens. I'll go with this B16, comma. Lookup array is this column, right? Return array is this column because I want title, right? So let me take this. Let us see what happens now. Of course, we get an error actually now. Okay, we get an error because XLOOKUP did not find Fuller because this is an exact match is happening. But guys, what you should focus here is some extra parameters here. See, if I put a comma, I told you we'll go to if not found. Right now, I'm not worried about if not found. I'll just bypass this, put a comma again. Match mode is important here. In match mode, you have exact match. These two I told you about approximate match. And the last parameter is wildcard character. Look at this. I'll just bring that wildcard character. That is parameter 2. That is after your if not found parameter. So if I just write 2, still I get NA. This is because I choose wildcard character, but I did not write wildcard character. Now, what is wildcard character? Don't look at wildly at me now. Okay, there are two wildcard characters in one is star, another is question mark. Actually, star represents any group of character. If I write star, that means I mean to say any group of characters. And question mark represents any single character, any one, any single. Single is basically one, right? So any single character. That means if I say, for example, a star to Excel string starting with A and anything after it. For same way, if I write star A, any word or sentence starts with any character ending with A. But if I write star A star, any string which has got a character A, something like that. Star means that. Same way, if I put question mark, okay, if I write a question mark, that means any word which is having 3 letters starting with A. After A, only 2 characters. Why 2 characters? Because 2 question mark. If I write one question mark, A and 1 character like A B, A C, A D. It cannot be ant. It can't be apple. Okay, it cannot be anything more than 2 characters. But 2 characters, second can be anything. Something like that is called as wildcard character. So what Excel says, hey, you can also use wildcard characters here. A, imagine you had A and you had B and you want to make it AB. You do concatenation. Some of you might know this concatenation or joining, or like say you had last name and first name, you want to make it full name. So we write what equals to this and this. What is the result of this? See, we can't, this is not a number, right? We can't just write this plus this. Plus is used for arithmetical operators, right? And is used to join 2 text strings. And is used for what? Joining 2 text strings. So A and B becomes AB here, as simple as that. Same way, I am telling Excel, you put star, okay, before full, okay. So that means it will look for wildcard character, anything start ending with full, correct? Ending with this guy. So now when I hit enter, see how nicely it brings things. See if I write here King. See, I have Robert King here, right? So when I hit enter, hey, it brings me the information. He's a sales representative, right? So if I write Devolio. So it brings me, this guy is also sales representative, right? So here I can also put other star at the end also. Look at this. I can put one more star at the end. Sorry. And I'll put star again, one more star here. What's the meaning of this? Anything starting and ending with. See, if I also put the first name, Nancy, hey, still works. See, if I put Stephen now, Stephen. Is it not a wonderful option, guys? Many a time, I think in VLOOKUP, you were thinking about using this. Can I just put a part of some name? Will it work? So VLOOKUP, sorry, I can't. But I can really work this in a great way with this kind of techniques and adding the to option. I'll just repeat the whole formula once. XLOOKUP. See, star is a text, right? So I have to put within the double quote. And is basically I'm combining this with whatever I'm searching here. And then I put one more star here after and, because I'm combining 3 things. Star in the beginning of this cell B16 and then one more star at the end. Don't tell me what is star now. Okay, what is star? Basically, it's a wildcard character. I have told you that. So this will be my lookup value. And then rest is simple. Return lookup array is your lookup array is this, correct? Lookup array is this, simple stuffs. And then comma, return array is whatever you want to return. So I'll take the title as per my example here. Control backspace. If you want, you can just give if not found also. Employee does not exist. Okay, employee does not exist. This is not mandatory. Okay, but if you want, you can just write that also. Comma, match mode is very important here. Okay, match mode is telling to Excel that I'm not looking for exact match or approximate match. I'm looking for wildcard character that is with the number 2 here. So I'll just use 2 there. So close the bracket and so look at that. So nicely I'm able to grab my information there. Okay, see now if you want, you can also run this for the other data as well. See if I lock my ranges, make this absolute F4, make this also absolute F4, enter. So if I run this for more values down, see I'm getting Aura. Look at this, we have Michael. So I'm writing anything. Is it beginning or end? I'm able to get it.
Truly wonderful is this new function XLOOKUP. Hope you agree with me. Let me refresh you with all most important learnings by quickly taking you through the examples. The quick refresher will be on the following functions and techniques. VLOOKUP basics with both exact and approximate match, HLOOKUP, VLOOKUP to search numbers stored as text, VLOOKUP for comparison and using if-NA, if-error for customizing errors, XLOOKUP basics, two-way lookup with VLOOKUP and match, and two-way lookup with nested XLOOKUP. So let's open Excel and travel now in Lookup Express.
If you remember, I wrote VLOOKUP to grab these products, correct? So equals to VLOOKUP because we are vertically searching. So my information to be searched here is vertical. So we do VLOOKUP, look for this value, comma. Table array is a table where the data has to be searched. In this example, it was this data. So I pick the entire table and I need to make it constant. Otherwise, what happens? The ranges will shift. We saw that, if you remember. If you do not make this range constant, because I took the range H1 to I78 is a range where there are row references. So I need to fix it. But if you take a full column, you don't need, right? And then the next parameter is the column number from where you have to fetch the information. And then the last parameter is either exact match or approximate match. In these scenarios, we go with exact match, right? Close the bracket, enter. So this is how you write a basic VLOOKUP. So these four parameters are important: what to look, where to look, what to bring. Column number says what to bring, and this says the exact match, right? And this can also be used for approximate matches also, I said, right? So for approximate matches, we normally bring the 1, correct? Or if I don't write anything here, that is also fine, right? The default is 1. If I don't put anything in the last parameter, default is 1. Writing 1 here means you want an approximate match. You could see this approximate match is true. True and 1 both the same. True and 1 both the same. True or 1 always brings me the approximate matches. So normally approximate match is valid when you're looking something in a range of data, correct? So if there is something in a range, like we did this remark exercise, if you remember, right? So and very important in VLOOKUP, when you are writing the approximate match, your data has to be sorted. If you remember, I told you that it has to be sorted in an ascending order, lowest to highest. Otherwise, VLOOKUP's approximate match does not work. This is not the case in XLOOKUP. So VLOOKUP, we need to do that, but VLOOKUP, bring this value, comma, table array, this is the array which is sorted, first column is sorted, comma 2, comma 1. 1 is for approximate match. Close the bracket, enter. I think I missed something here. Either don't put comma. I just put a comma and just left out. You should not put comma also. Like if you want a default, just without a comma, I have to put it. That's it. Okay. So now when I double click, you could see it is bringing me the approximate match. And then we also saw HLOOKUP, if you remember. It's a very pretty simple, just like VLOOKUP, you can also do HLOOKUP. Search for the value in a range, right? And bring the row number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So HLOOKUP works top to bottom. VLOOKUP works left to right. It cannot do reverse, right? Unlike your XLOOKUP. And then we also saw some kind of problems what we face. If a number is really not a number, if it is text, you can make use of this value function, which is really wonderful. It can convert a text into a number. In a number which is shown as text, it will convert back to a number. Then we saw the advantage of VLOOKUP in comparison, right? Where I can compare two tables, okay, and find out the difference. And I can also write if NA and if error, right? This is mainly to customize the error messages. If error mainly customizes all kind of error messages, like we saw hash value, hash name, or hash NA, anything. If NA is mainly when you want to customize the NA error messages, which comes with lookups mainly, and also other functions also bring NA. Even if IFS also brings NA, like that, so many functions brings NA. So if you are customizing NA errors, you go with this, right? And we also saw XLOOKUP, which was really a wonderful function to use. This XLOOKUP can do things in a very, very simpler manner, right? It can search for a value in a single column. Okay, the array is just a single column, right? So this is what we saw in the last, if you remember. I think before XLOOKUP, we saw match as well, correct? So I'll just come back to that, XLOOKUP. So XLOOKUP lookup value is this, and we saw the lookup array is where you want to search, comma, and then the return array, that is what it needs. If return array, it is a array from where you are bringing the information. So simple. What to search we give, and where to search from where we have to bring. That's it. So the moment I close the bracket, I am getting my information. All right. This can be also used to customize errors, right? If not found, correct? If not found is something like combining VLOOKUP with if error. You can just directly do that with XLOOKUP without a support of any function. Okay. So if not found is that, and match mode is mainly when you're matching apart from exact match. Like VLOOKUP's one match, you can tell here by -1 here, and in nested XLOOKUP. Okay, this one. Okay, before that I also told you that match function. Okay, just let me complete that and then come back to this XLOOKUP combination. Match function, I told you, like we had a requirement here, this one, right, where I wanted to do two-way lookup. Like I want to look on the department as well as the grade. XLOOKUP does this in a nice way, but if you don't have the latest version, what to do then, right? So we have to, of course, use VLOOKUP or index functions. Through VLOOKUP match, you can do this. How did we do that? Look at this. Match is basically what? It gives me the position. See, if you remember this match function, which I wrote independently, which is looking for some value in a range. Range should be only a single row range or a single column. Remember, it can work with column also. And then you bring the exact match. Exact match, because I am searching for this A, B, C, D. This is some string and all. We always go with exact matches. Then we hit enter. We get the position. So we use this match to get the position of certain value in an array, and we take this as a supporting function in VLOOKUP, correct? So if I want to know, like, let me just move this here. So if I want to know for finance with A grade, what is the percentage? So I'll write equals to VLOOKUP. Lookup value is this, comma. Table array would be this full table, right? Comma. Grade A can change to B, C, D, I don't know, right? So what we do, we take a support of match here. So I use match function here. Tell Excel match this grade, because I don't know the column number. Of course, I can count here. Count has 2, but A can become P. When it becomes B, it should change to 3. So based on the grade here, the column number is changing. So match is supporting me so that I can get this number dynamically. So I just comma, and I take this array. Okay, this is the array. Like you are trying to count this A in this array. So if I count A, it will give me 2, correct? Comma, put 0. Then close the bracket. Then put a comma. Final 0. VLOOKUP, you have to close at the end, right? So we put a 0 there. Then I close the right. So this is how you can do two-way lookup with VLOOKUP and match. And the same thing I showed you, we can do that in XLOOKUP also, which is a kind of nested lookup. So what we do in XLOOKUP for the similar thing, XLOOKUP, lookup value is this, comma, lookup array is where this finance has to be looked. It has to be looked in this column. Unlike VLOOKUP, we will take the table. In XLOOKUP, we just take one array here, right? Then returning array, please little focus on this. Returning array can be, data can be of any of the column from A to E, right? So I take the entire table, that is my returning array, okay? But returning array, which array has to be returned? It depends on the grade, correct? So I should write one more XLOOKUP here to search which column is the grade, and I write one more, okay, XLOOKUP here, and I search for this grade. I search for this. I search this in this array, right? This is my lookup array for the second XLOOKUP. Okay, this is horizontal. First XLOOKUP vertical, second XLOOKUP horizontal, and put a comma. So this is the only internal formula. So externally we had this before to F9. This is something I have add on. This is looking for the row. The first one is looking for the column. Get this please. Second one is looking for the row, pulling data from any of the columns here. Okay. Close 1, close 2, enter. Hope you had a quick refresh on most of our learnings which we saw in part 1 to part 10 of Lookup series. In this video, you're going to learn index function of Excel, which is very powerful and will come over the restriction of VLOOKUP, which cannot do reverse lookup, that is retrieving information before searching columns. I'll be first taking you through the basics of index and explain this function with different examples so that you will get used to this function in a better way. Now let's explore this function. But first, let me take you through the definition of this function index. Index, I believe, returns a value from a cell which is intersected by a row and a column in an array. So what is being intersected here? A value Indonesia, right? It just picks that for me. That is how index is programmed. If you see the same input here in index formula, see if I write index, it will ask you for array. Now row number, where is Indonesia? 1, 2, 3 in the third row, comma. Column number, where is this Indonesia cell? Second column, third row, second column, close, enter. So here I just explained you the three inputs of index. That's it. I'm not explaining you the real use of index. I just explained you the three inputs of index. One is the array. Array is the range. Second is the row number. Okay. Third row in the selected table. Okay. Don't worry about what is your actual row number of the sheet. No. Comma. Column number is the second column. That is 2. If I write 3, that means it brings the population. Okay. So now I just close this. Enter. VLOOKUP cannot bring me, like if I look for Indonesia's capital, can VLOOKUP bring me capital here, guys? Yes or no? First tell me, guys. No, right? So we can't get it. So if I show you index can do this, don't you appreciate index? Such a simple formula to see here. If I show you index can do this and it's available in all the versions. It's available in all the versions. Whichever versions you are using, it will available. So you have to appreciate index there, right? Let's see whether it will do or not. I'll write equals to index. Index. Array. Array is this full table like we do in VLOOKUP. I'm giving the array here, but in VLOOKUP, we'll give it as a second argument. In index, we give it in the beginning. Okay. Now, normally in VLOOKUP, we always, when we pick a range, we'll be careful, right? We'll always start from the country because I'm searching on country. So my array will go like this, correct? In VLOOKUP. If you're searching on capital, my array will go like this. If you're searching on population, my array will go like this. Here, don't bother about it. Take the full table. Or even you can also take one column as well. I'll show you that as well. That's a simpler approach of index. I'll come back to that. We have array here. We took this column, comma. I'm sorry. Let me show you with the full table. Let us not get confused because we learned index with full table, right? Let us do with that only. Comma. Row number. What is row number is the only challenging part to know in index function. If you have understood this logic, you can get a hold of this function. Please get my words. Row number is what is very crucial to understand here. Now, according to my table, Indonesia is in third row, correct? Indonesia is in third row here. 1, 2, 3, correct? Now, tell me where is Jakarta? Which row is Jakarta? Which is the capital of Indonesia? Which row it is? Country Indonesia is in third row. Capital Jakarta is also in third row. That means same way, if country India is in 8th row or 7th row, capital will also be in the 8th or 7th row, right? So if I know a mechanism of knowing where is the row number of my searchable value, get these words from me clearly, make a note of it. If I get the row number of the searchable value, I will get the row number of the retrieving value. Okay, row number makes most important here. Okay. Yes, we will use match here. Okay, here Indonesia I count 1, 2, 3. But if in a 1 lakh cell row, cells column, how will I count 1, 2, 3, 4? I can't count. So the match function. because of usage of internal function, some people hate it. Which people who are novice, beginners, it's not difficult if you have understood match properly. I have told match in 2-3 scenarios before itself. Match is just to get the position. See what was the mechanism here? I have to get the row number of my searching value. If I know the row number of my searching value, same is the row number of my retrieving value. So I will arrive at row number. Arriving at row number is the main logic of index. Guys, I'm repeating so that you are clear with this concept, guys. Okay, so I'll write match. I'll ask match, hey match, give me where is Indonesia? Where is Indonesia? Comma, where? In this country column. So guys, you have to just take one column here. Match will not work with full table, I've told you before. So just take Indonesia is in country, simple. If you're searching for capital, you'll be taking capital, as simple as that. Then you write a comma, 0, close the bracket. So by this, I can make my work simpler. I don't have to count. I have automated this task of counting the row number of my searching value. That is the same row number for my retrieving value. So I got my row position now. Agree, guys? I got my row position. Column number tells index which column data it has to retrieve. Here, very simple. If you want to get capital, I'll write 1. If you want to get the same country, I'll write 2. If you want to get population, I'll write 3. But you have to count from the beginning here. Okay. If you want to bring population, I can say 3. If you want to bring capital, I'll just write 1 here. That's it. We just need 3 inputs. First is the table. Second is matching your searching value. Then what column you want to bring. I'll repeat one more time. Don't worry. See here. If I just put Mexico City. Something Mr. VLOOKUP cannot do, index match can do. See, I'll just redo it once again. Don't worry. I'll just show that formula once again. Maybe I'll do it for this one. Okay, I'll do it for getting the rank based on the city equals to index. It's really simple if you have understood properly. Look at array, whole array. Don't bother about where is your data to be searched or brought. Take the whole table. Comma, row number. Row number is a mechanism which I told you based on your searchable value. So I'll write match. So every time you write match in the row number part. Match what? Match what you are searching. Match what you are searching, comma, city in city column. That is the logic you have to understand here. Comma, 0. Just a single column. That is important here. And then 0. Then close the bracket. Then what is that we have to retrieve? Population rank. Population rank is what I have to retrieve. So guys, where is population rank in my table? 4. That's it. So I put that column number. So this is from the beginning. I'm sorry. Put one more comma there. 4. Perfect. So close the brackets. Enter. So based on this, it can work like your VLOOKUP also, right? It's actually pretty simple if you practice 1 or 2 times. You just need to practice, guys. Okay, I'll just show you one more example. I'll show you still a easier logic here. See how wonderful is this now. I want to get a city on a rank. Okay, based on the rank, I want to get a city. See how simple is this formula. I'll just make my work still simpler. Index. Okay, array. One way is table. Now, see, there's one easier approach in index. This array can be even a single column array from where you are retrieving. So I have to bring capital, I have to search based on the rank. So right now, array is basically something which you are retrieving. I'm retrieving capital. Just take one column only, that's enough. As the first part of index, just take the retrieving column. Get my words. First array is the retrieving column, comma. Then I need to get the row number of the searching value. How will I search the row number? I use match. So I use match here. Match. What do I match? Match the search value which you are searching. Where will I match the rank? The second column will be searching. So I'm searching in this. 0 is very important for the match. Close the bracket. Wait. See, I've done 2 things now, correct? One is I told the column from where I have to bring information, that is capital. And I told how to get the row number. Then where are we left with? Column number. Now what do you think is the column number? Look at this. Because just a 1 column table, see, can you see this? This is in square bracket. I believe you don't have to give this parameter also. You don't have to tell 1. Don't tell anything. Just close the bracket. Enter. You don't have to give the last parameter also, dear. Okay. So if you put 1, close, it does the same work. You don't put 1, so just close it directly. Index is happy. Index is happy with just 2 inputs. We'll see what last example and stop with index. Okay. In real time, you will be working on a big data like this, right? So Shakil, will it work in big data? Let us take a challenge now. 100% it will work, dear. Index. What is the first column? I need to pull price from my data. So retrieving column is column H. So just give one column, comma, match this product, comma, match where? I'll match this in product I. Column I, I'm sorry. Okay, comma, then put 0. That's it. Close the bracket once, close the bracket twice. Enter. It is bringing me the information what VLOOKUP cannot do.
Hope you realized the power of index function in Excel for doing reverse lookup. There are still more applications of this function which I will cover in my future videos. So that's it for now in this video. I'm planning to upload more videos with different applications and examples in my future videos. Thanks a lot for watching and hope you enjoyed this, and if you did, give a thumbs up and please consider subscribing to my YouTube channel Excel is Magical and hit that bell to get notifications whenever I put on new videos. See you in my next video.